And I've just realised that the ring light is not doing well for these glasses, is it? You know, I tried to bring the style and it wasn't working out. Hey guys, it's Cassie and I am here with a very interesting story time for you guys. Yeah, basically, as the title suggests, a cult member cleaned my house and tried to recruit me. So, if you're interested in that weird-ass story, keep watching, subscribe if you haven't already, like this video, comment. All my social media will be here somewhere. Follow me, let's be friends and part of this family, and let me just start. Yeah? Okay. So, I'm gonna try my hardest not to forget key points, and I might be all over the place because this happened in like January, I want to say, and you know what, it was a weird ass experience, so forgive me for trying to pick up on things that, you know, are random and not normal, because this entire situation was wayward and just nobody saw this coming in any capacity. Okay, so yeah, I mean, like, my last story time was, you know, the time I dated a drug dealer. This is the thing, probably loads of people have got that story, whether knownst or unbeknownst to them, that they went on a date with a drug dealer. Feel like this story is going to have fewer people that have been through the experience. Okay, so let me begin. So I had an app. I'm an extremely lazy human being. I had an app that you book a cleaner to come to your house and clean your home. And you'd think, because it's like through an app and whatever, that, you know, these people are vetted and, you know, there's some sort of standards, possibly. So I booked this cleaner, and for all the cleaning that I could not be asked to do. And basically, so most of the time they actually end up giving you a different cleaner each time. I don't know why. I think I tried to look into like requesting the same cleaner every time because it would just be easier and whatever, but obviously didn't happen. So I would get a different cleaner every time. So this guy turns up. First of all, he's like 20 minutes late, okay? And like, I'm pretty laid back with stuff like that. Like, I wasn't going anywhere, so it doesn't really matter. So he turned up at the door, and this guy is like, maybe like 6'2" or something, like a big kind of guy, and he looks young. He looks like my age. Brackets, I'm 24. And yeah, so I was, oh, okay, cool, because, you know, like, the cleaners are usually like older, or like, I don't know, just not usually within like my age bracket and things. So he comes in, he starts cleaning and whatever. He's like very friendly and like, I haven't got much to do, I'm just on my laptop and stuff. So he starts talking. And he's like, oh, I'm actually usually a personal trainer, but I just do this for extra money, blah, blah. So we're talking about that. And I was talking about, I was just like, oh, you know, I'm really crap with exercise and everything else. So that was the mistake, because he starts trying to sell me his sodding lessons and time, which I am not here for. I'm quite happy with the fact that I don't do any exercise, because that gives me more free time to watch Game of Thrones, which is what I'm currently doing in my free time, but still. Anyway, so, you know, I keep getting sold his lessons. What is it? Training sessions. Okay, so he's doing that, and that's fine and everything, and I'm like, yeah, I'll think about it and whatever. Then he starts asking me about me, and he's like, what do you do? So I'm like, you know, I work for this company. And he's like, oh, but, you know, do you like really like fashion or something? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, because like you have your shelf of shoes and whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, actually, I fashion blog in my free time, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, is that what you really want to do? And I was like, yeah, you know, I think I'd like to do that one day or whatever. And then he starts going like, well, why are you not doing it? What is your fear? And all this business. So I'm just there like, my fear is that I sodding fail. And I'm just there like, this is the thing, okay, which you will realise from my story times, is that I cannot say no. As in, I was roped into this conversation and I could have very easily been like, I'm sorry, I'm super busy. But instead, I perpetuated this fire that was yet to spread. Anyway, so, and everything else. So then he gets into this topic of like fear and failure and whatever. And he's like, tell me about a time in your childhood where you failed or where someone failed you. And I was just there like, sorry, what? And he was like, yeah, like a time when you failed. And I was just like, okay. And then I told like some weird long story about like me in school sometime failing and whatever. And he was like, okay, I want you to write it down. And I was like, all right then. So why do I say yes? Yeah, so I'm writing down this sodding story, and then he's like, okay, now I want you to read it out to me 3 times. So me, being the naive bitch in this situation, did so. So I read him this story 3 times, then he's like, okay, now I want you to underline 6 words that insinuate that like you couldn't have helped the situation. So like somebody else that did something and whatever. Anyway, it turns into some long tirade. I come down with the 6 words and everything, and then he's like, okay, I want you to stand up. I want you to say each word with there was some like weird sentence after it, or something to do with like, you know, for these things I cannot change, whatever it was, I cannot even remember. And he was like, and then I want you to step forward and say another one. So I'm here doing some Scientology ritual while this guy's supposed to be cleaning my house, which I would just like to say, he didn't. Yeah, so this is happening. Then it starts to get like really, I mean, it's already deep. And then it starts to get deep, and he's like, you know, in those times of darkness and failure and everything else, just remember that the world needs you and all this business. So it's just like getting very, you know what I feel like Burning Man is like? That kind of vibe. So yeah, so then he starts talking about how, oh, actually, I go to these, I don't know what he called, I think he called them like seminars. I think that's the word that he used. He was like, yeah, so I go to these seminars and blah, 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 and actually I just spent my last £400 on going to my next seminar because I want to become a leader and everything else. There we go, ding, 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 ding. Scientology kind of level stuff here. And he's like, you know, and it's made me realise that everything that happens to you in your life, you bring. It's your doing, right? So then I was just like, all right then, listen, I know about the sodding, what's it called, theory of attraction, I get it, you know, I believe it and all that business. But then, I mean, like one of the examples he gave was like, you know, that these seminars are amazing, they're life-changing, blah, blah, blah. This girl got on stage and was talking about how she was abused as a child and everything else, and basically, you know, it all came down to her and her actions that had attracted this. And I was just there like, does it? Does abuse come back to you and your actions? Anyway, so I'm just here like wanting to crawl into a hole and die. And he keeps going on and on. He talks about his personal experience, and it's about how, you know, the way I used to treat women, I ended up finding out that that was because of, I felt like my mum didn't love me and all this business. And I was just there like, I mean, like, you're here for 2 hours to clean my house. Like, how have we gotten here? Like, and it is at this point I realise that I am deep, deep inside this sudden conversation. So he goes on to this, and then he's like, you know, you need to come to the next seminar. It's on Wednesday. It's from 6 till 9. And for ages, I remember this specifically, I kept asking, oh, so like, what's it called? What's it called? Because I was like, he's going to say it. It's sod in Scientology. It wasn't Scientology. It's called something called the Landmark Forum. Keep that in your mind. So it's like, you should come to this session, blah, blah, I really want to see you there. And the thing is that this guy's personality is very like, this is the thing, I don't want to be like super rude, but at the same time, he's like very aggressively nice, if that makes sense. Like, he'll be like, he's not like creepy aggressive, could be, but like was very like, I want to see you there, it's going to change your life, it's changed my life, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just there like, yes, so he's like given me all this sodding inspirational words of wisdom and everything else, and then he's like, you know, well, I'll see you on Wednesday, and if I don't see you on Wednesday, I'll see you at your next cleaning session. And I was just there like, it was at this point where I was like, he knows where I live. Huh. A cult member knows where I live. So, I then, as soon as he leaves, after having done no cleaning work in the 2 hours he was here, I just have to have a moment by myself to collect my thoughts before I then phone everybody in my phone book that I think would benefit from this knowledge to the fact that a cult member has cleaned my house and tried to recruit me. I just have to have a moment to just be like, okay, that actually did happen. That was my life for 2 hours. For my life for 2 hours, I participated in what was sort of maybe an entry-level cult activity. I don't know. So basically, I later found out that the Landmark Forum is some weird kind of cult, and basically if you Google it, there's like articles about people who have like lost their siblings and like their family to Landmark Forum, and when you go to one of their sessions, I don't know, they like won't let you leave for the whole day. So one of the sessions is like a full day thing. I think it's from like 9 till 9, and they don't let you leave, as in like when you go out the doors, they're like, oh, what's the problem? And then you're like, I don't think this is for me. And then they're like, actually, you should talk to so-and-so. They'll be able to help you. You know, in their weird little culty ways. So yeah, don't go to Landmark Forum if anybody tries to coax you into it. And needless to say, I have not used that cleaning app again, and actually I've taken one for the team that is me, the one-person team, and now I clean my own house. First world problems. So there we go. That was the time a cult member cleaned my house and tried to recruit me. Oh, by the way, the guy like followed me on Instagram and then like DM'd me and was like, see you on Wednesday. Yeah, so that's that story. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you already haven't, and join this family. My next video is probably going to be a monthly favourites if I get my act together and I do things on time. Yeah, let me know if you like these story times and whatever, and I'm going to think about some other weird stuff that's happened in my life that I can somewhat remember. But yeah, have a fabulous day, guys, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye, guys.